Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I thought I'd say hello. I'm outside in my greenhouse this morning. It's a beautiful day, really nice, which is much needed, isn't it? I hope that wherever you are in the world that you've got some sunshine. February was an awful month. Awful. I wasn't very well. My battery was flat the entire month. So I'm really hoping that, and also my dad's been poorly as well. There's been a lot of, well, it seems like everyone I've spoken to has been poorly in some way or another, or struggling with something. So I really hope that wherever you are, that you're doing well, and that March treats us a lot better than February did. So yeah, I'm going to put the camera down onto the table and record a little bit about my month of February and my plans for March. But I thought I'd just show you me and my garden. There he is. There's the George. Ignoring his mummy, obviously. Look, we've actually got some sunshine. You can see my little garden is still asleep. Not very much awake. My little fairy garden. Where's that George? He's up the back there. Yeah, we have actually got some sunshine. Some little crocuses, look. I've got some forget-me-nots coming. All sorts of things that are showing themselves. But yeah, still looking extremely wintry, the garden. It's George. Hey, Georgie George. Yeah. It's your little love. What are you doing? Hey? What are you doing, darling? Yes. Okay, so let's have a little look and see what I'd been up to in February and what I plan to do in March. So I'm just first of all looking at, oh, sorry. Bash in there. Where are we? So just looking at my year ahead spread, and so far it's been quite accurate, actually. Excuse me. So for February I pulled the Hanged Man, which is surrender, new perspective and inner work, isn't it? And you know, I think that February does reflect that quite strongly. It was a really hard month. I had a lot of illness myself, you know, fibromyalgia flare up, feeling very fatigued and not well a lot of the month, to be honest. Everything's felt a bit like an uphill battle. And actually a lot of people around me in my life have been poorly and struggling with a lot of things as well, and it was starting to really get me down. I think, you know, the world, excuse me, sorry, I got a froggy throat, I had a drink. Yeah, and I think the energy of the world generally is quite heavy and oppressive at the moment as well. There's just such a lot of, there's so many things coming to light at the moment that are so awful that if you were to really sit and think about it all, I don't know how you'd get through the day, to be honest, because it just is that, well, like, I consider myself to be a fairly ordinary person and I can't comprehend how many of these things happen. They're just so directly opposed to everything that I believe in and everything I stand for, that I don't know, it's a heavy and oppressive weight, isn't it? And I do really hope that all of this sort of all of these things coming to light are for a reason, and that things will change for the better. And so I've been trying to look at things with a new perspective, but more than anything, I think I have had to just surrender myself to the energy just recently, to my own lack of energy, to the upset and ill health around me, to the world, to all of it, really. It's not something that I could fight in any way, is it? It's not something that I can do really very much about. It was just something I've had to sort of give into. So that's what I've been doing. And then for March, I don't know, can you see these? Look. For March, I've got the Seven of Wands, which is defensive, isn't it? Taking a stand, feeling quite overwhelmed. So, hooray for that, for March. You know, we're in Mercury retrograde, which is in Pisces, which I think is quite emotionally overwhelming. Not a comfortable place. We've also got the full moon eclipse in March, which is in Virgo. So if you're a Virgo, which I am, you may feel that more as well. All quite difficult astrology, really. So I'm not really sure how I feel about March. April, I've got Justice. So I'm really hoping that that's just going to mean that things will come back into balance a bit better, and that I might feel a bit more harmony and balance in my life. And then bizarrely, for May, I pulled the Atonement card. This was the slow tarot that I used to do this reading, and there is an extra major card number 22 called Atonement. And it's just like, what is that? Because atonement to me is like righting a wrong, isn't it? It's having to pay a debt or clear the decks, right a wrong, make something feel better. So I don't know what that is about, but I feel quite apprehensive, really, about the next few months. And looking at my reading here, it's not until July that things start to look a bit healthier, really. We've got the Knight of Wands, the Chariot, the Lovers, the Star. Yeah. The rest of the year from July is looking better, but this next few months, I am somewhat apprehensive about it, if I'm honest. Especially the atonement bit. I mean, yeah. My word of the year is contentment, so I'm still hoping for that. I'm still like working at that. The card I'm sort of hanging on to here is the Three of Wands from the Shimmering Veil deck, which has been my deck study for the month of February. And I've had this card out on my altar or on my desk such a lot of the time because it's just beautiful, isn't it? It's really uplifting and positive, this sort of consciously creating your universe, you know, with your thoughts and your energy. So I have been trying to do that. I have been trying to. And one of the ways that I try to do that actually is with the use of gratitude, is that no matter how hard things feel some days, I'm always immensely grateful for many of the things and many of the people that I have in my life. So yeah, I've really enjoyed working with the Shimmering Veil, actually. It surprised me. I did a little video where I did a deck interview with it. You can see, I'm not sure what video it was, but I'm sure I did do that. And yeah, it's really surprised me. It's a lovely deck. And what I would really like is to feel confident enough to do a collective reading with it. That would be nice. The other thing I did this month, I was going to do a deck mod with the Bauer, is it Bauer Tarot? B-A-U-E-R, Bauer Tarot. I was going to mod that. I was going to trim it and edge it and all sorts, but I just couldn't work out what was the best way to do it. So I kind of gave up on that. And instead I had a new deck, the Fairy Tale deck, that I did a reading with and worked with a little bit this month. And instead I've edged this. I thought this nice orange colour went with the backs. So I've sort of sat in bed when I've not been very well and I edged that. So I'm pleased with that. It looks nice. So let's just have a little look in my books and see what I've been up to. So for February, I managed to do 3 readings on my reading channel. The only one I didn't do when I was really quite poorly was I was going to do a Valentine's Day pick a card reading, and I just did not have the energy for that in the end. So, but I managed to do a Witch's Mirror spread, a Celtic cross, and an enchantment spread. So I was pleased about that. And I actually managed to get quite a few videos done as well, considering I've not felt well and yeah, not really been very with it actually a lot of the time. So I unboxed a couple of oracle decks, the Atlas and the Fairy Tale Oracle. I did Kara's hashtag bedside decks, Teresa's hashtag cards and creativity. I did a kind of VR to Erin, which you can see on my channel, where I got a little bit tearful and upset. This was about feeling upset and angry about the things that are going on in the world. I did a little video showing some favourite cards from some favourite decks. This was a sort of shooing away the winter blues kind of video. I did another tag of Kara's, my Tarot Rainbow, which was lovely. And I did the January wrap up. So I did quite a few videos actually. If you think across my 2 channels, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 videos across the month. So that's pretty productive, really, isn't it? This is a bit of a mess because some things I was going to use and then didn't use, and they got crossed out. So I've been studying the Shimmering Veil throughout the month, and I've done a deck interview with that. I edged the Fairy Tale Oracle. I've used all of these decks throughout the month, which is a lot, isn't it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 19 decks throughout the month of February, all told, in my VRs and my readings. So I'm really pleased about that. Trying to think which one I've enjoyed using the most out of all of these. I think I enjoyed the Circe Tarot a lot, actually. And then for decks purchased or received, so I was given a little Deviant Moon pocket-sized deck. I bought the Atlas Oracle, which I've shown. I backed the Folkloric Forest and Folkloric Waters on Kickstarter. I purchased the Dead Inside Oracle, which is a mass market, which I know I said I wouldn't do, but that was an impulsive, I'm poorly and fed up kind of buy. I have not unboxed that yet. I also, well, all three of these were kind of, I'm not very well and I'm fed up, and were impulsive buys. So there's the dead inside. There's a John Waterhouse art oracle, which I bought from Etsy, a little indie deck, which I haven't opened yet either. And a used vintage Motherpiece tarot, which I bought from a Facebook group for a good price, actually. And again, I haven't opened that yet. So yeah, there we go. So let's just have a look in here, actually, if I did get to all of those. Let's have a look. So yeah, my Ordinary Magic deck turned up, my first Kickstarter, which had very mixed feelings, didn't it, amongst my viewers, amongst the Tarot Tube community. Some people I don't think would have ever bought it because it's sort of AI's been used in the creation of it, which I'm not happy about. It's this deck here, which I'm not entirely happy about at all, and it was a mistake when I bought it. I did not realise at all at the time what I was buying. It was my first purchase from Kickstarter, and I didn't read it properly. It was again quite an impulsive buy. But what I did see of it, I loved, because I loved the concept of it. I loved the concept of this everyday magic, because that's much of what we use tarot for, isn't it? Is to help us navigate our way through our everyday life. So I really, really like the concept of it. I like the diversity of the people, the places, the situations. I just love the whole concept of it, and I wish that there was no AI in it at all. You know, like this one here, the Devil. It's a very modern deck, very contemporary, and I do love the concept of it. I don't regret buying it, but it's certainly been a lesson to me to read things properly and to not sort of get carried away in the moment and just impulsively buy something or back something. Look at that, look, that's beautiful. It is a lovely deck. The whole deck feels really nice. I'm actually going to do a deck study with it this month. I'm going to spend some time getting to know it, because the creator of this deck has written extensive notes and stories around why she chose certain images for certain cards. So I'm going to do that as a deck study for this month. So yeah, that was the only Kickstarter that arrived. So yeah, so for March, I have just recorded today, actually, a general collective reading that will upload on Wednesday with the Celtic Elemental deck and RWS Mundi. I have also just in the last couple of days unboxed the Forest Folklore. I'm doing my February wrap up. I plan to do the spread from the Ordinary Magic deck as a video over the next week, and show my deck interview also. So that's as far as I've got of videos I've done or plan to do so far for March. I'm sure there'll be more. Like I said, the deck study is going to be the Ordinary Magic deck interview, and I've started to edge. I decided I would edge this deck, and I started to edge it again in orange. I know I've got such a thing about orange, but I've since used it and shuffled it, so the cards that I have edged already have got shuffled into it. So it's beautiful backs. So yeah, I'm going to have to go through and pick out the cards I have already edged. I thought the orange would go nicely with the backs of these cards also. So that, yeah, that's going to be my mod and my deck study for the month. And then we're only just into March, and I've had a bad few days, like seriously. So I know it's no excuse for my low buy no buy year, but hey ho. I had I had one evening in bed where in the space of about 10 or 15 minutes I haven't got all of the decks here, have I? Well, let me see. There's more than I've got written down here, actually. Where are my oracles? That's it, the inner eye. Yeah, I should write that down, really. So yeah, in the space of about 10 or 15 minutes on eBay, I found the Bee Tarot, the Crow Tarot, and a deck called the Inner Compass Oracle. And they were all about £14, which is a very good price for these. They're like as new used. And so I bought them. They haven't arrived as yet, otherwise I'd show you them. But yeah. And I've also decided that, well, today I've just ordered the pre-order of the Winding Tarot from Three Trees Tarot, which is the one with the spiders. And it just looked beautiful. I saw that on Simon's channel the other day, and I love Three Trees Tarot, so I've pre-ordered that as well. I think the payment for my Folkloric Forest comes out this week as well. So that's, I need to stop now really, because that's kind of enough with these. I'll write that in there actually, the inner compass oracle, and that was eBay. That was £14 also, so that was used. So those three are used. This one is a pre-order, and like I said, there was also a book that I bought in with that as well that was used on eBay. I think it's Tales of the Tarot or Tales Behind the Tarot. I'm not entirely sure what that was, but when they come I will show you them. And I was actually thinking about sitting and reading some of the stories from this on my channel. I thought that might be a nice thing, but we'll see. See how froggy my throat is, my voice. So yeah, with what I've bought and the pre-order and the fact that I've got to pay for the Folklorist Forest and the Folkloric Waters, which is quite a lot of money, I really think that needs to be enough for this month. And I have got oh, actually I've got another page here, haven't I? And I'm pretty sure, just thinking about it, that where are we? Gee, I love my notebooks. I love that I'm so organised with my notebooks now. I'm pretty sure that they've just taken the P&P for the Shadows We Cast as Starseekers Tarot. And I think that will be dispatched any day. And I asked about this one because I still hadn't heard if it'd been dispatched. And they said I was in the next batch to be sent out. So throughout March, I should receive the Shadows We Cast and the Botanica Full Bloom Kickstarter as well. So that's quite exciting. And the decks that I plan to use this month for my readings and for my own practice and my own study are the Ordinary Magic, the Celtic Elemental deck, which is the one that I quite heavily modded. I chopped that and I trimmed down the sides and I edged it in gold, and I'm much happier with that now. So I will be reading with this and just playing with it generally, I guess. Excuse me. So there's those two. The Druidcraft Tarot, because it's been some time since I've had this one out. I thought it would go nicely with some other decks that I have, like the Celtic Elemental, actually, thinking about it. And you know, these are both decks that I've trimmed the sides off of. They both had big thick borders around the sides, so I left the tops and trimmed the sides and then edged them in gold, and I was much happier with them once I've done that. So yeah, let me put that to the side actually. So yeah, these are going to work really well together, I think. I think they'll because I do like the idea of using tarot decks together rather than tarot and oracle sometimes. So I think these are a really nice mix, aren't they? Everything about them is nice. They're a very similar size now I've trimmed them. Look at that, look. The King of Fire and the High Priest. Poor old Lancelot. Two of Swords, Five of Air. Look at that, look, that's beautiful. So yeah, I think that they will go really well together. And the other decks that I plan to use throughout March are, I'm going to use Nova's deck, the RWS Mundi, the Jewels and Frost edition. I shall be using this probably for clarifying when I'm doing readings. I think small decks like this are really good for clarifying, aren't they? So it's a beautiful deck. I love the blues in this deck, the blues and the greens particularly. So yeah, I shall be using that. And I've also pulled out the Triple Goddess Tarot, which is a deck I bought used last summer and put on my shelf and kind of never got to, but I thought it would fit well with the Celtic decks that I'm using at the moment. It's the back of them. It's a really nice deck. I thought it would go well with the Celtic decks. It's quite a sweet deck. I like the colour palette in this deck a lot. Look at that, look, that's beautiful. So yeah, look at that, look, the green and purple. See, that would go so well with the Celtic Elemental. That's got a lot of green and purple in it. Beautiful colours. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I shall definitely read with that on my channel also. And then I've got one more deck, I think, haven't I? Yeah, this is the other one I'm going to use, which I've just done a little first impressions video of, and this is the if I can get it out. I didn't like to throw away this sleeve as she's written so nicely on it, but it's the Tarot of the Old Forest. Whoops. Which is this beautiful deck with all the lovely animals in it. Such a nice deck. Look at the lovely backs, look, it's beautiful. So yeah, I plan to work with that as well. So I've got some lovely decks to work with throughout this month, and you know, if I do VRs and things, there'll be other decks that will come out as well, but these are going to be my main focus decks. And I haven't chosen any oracle decks yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to pair these up with, or if I'll pair tarot with tarot. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. So that is my February and my plans for March. Let's just hope that March is a much better month for all of us. Let's hope the sun returns, that the ground wakes up, that we start to get some beautiful flowers and birds and bees and things in the garden, that politically and world-wise the world feels a little bit calmer, although I doubt it. And I think really for all of us for March, I think it's going to be a really important month to try and stay grounded and look after ourselves and, you know, kind of look after the basics, not try and do anything too marvelous, too exciting, anything too fiery. It's just my feeling. I don't know why, but it kind of came up in the cards, and it's a vibe I've been getting generally, really, that this is a time to sort of pull back and do the basics, look after yourself, look after your family, and things will improve. That is the hope. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed having a look at what I've been up to and what I plan to do. Do say hello, and sending you all my love, and I'll see you all again soon.